Hi everyone and welcome to this new fabric build tutorial. Today I'll show you how to sew a pair of pants. This is the Micole's pattern M7907. It's a wide leg pant with pleats at the front and a tapered ankle. To get ready for spring, I'll be using this lightweight floral chiffon fabric. For the supplies, it's very simple. You'll need your fabric, the pattern, an 18 cm zipper, 2 hooks and bars, and some interfacing for the waistband. Once all the pieces are cut and the markings transferred, I finish the side edges of the front pieces, as well as the front crotch seam. To form the front pleats, I'll bring the pleats lines together on the wrong side, pin, stitch, and press the pleats toward the sides. For the back pieces, I finish only the side edges of the leg, and on the wrong side I form and pin the darts. I stitch and press the darts. I finish the pocket edge and the lower curved edge about 10 cm. I stitch the pockets to both the front and back pieces 6 mm from the edge. I press the seam toward the pocket. Then I place the front and back pieces right sides together and pin and stitch the pocket edges together and the side seams. I notch the back seam allowance just below the pocket and press the side seam open. Then I turn the pocket toward the front and baste the upper edges. Now I move on to the fly, which is the most delicate part of this project. First, I stitch the front pieces together between the markings. I apply the interfacing to the fly shield. I fold it right sides together and stitch the lower edge following the markings, pivoting at the corner. I clip the corners, turn it right side out and press. And I finish the open edges. Then I take the zipper and remove the metal stop. I place it on the fly shield, aligning the zipper tape with the finished edge and stitch along the tape. Next, I press a 1 cm fold along the left front edge. I place the zipper and fly shield underneath this edge, pin, and stitch along the folded edge. Now I apply interfacing to the fly facing and finish the curved edge. I pin the facing to the front edge and stitch. Then turn it to the inside and press. On the right side, I align the front edges at the center and pin all layers together. This allows me to pin the second side of the zipper to the facing. Then I remove the pins holding the front edges and stitch the zipper to the facing. Now from the right side, I top stitch following the curve of the fly. To get a smooth curve, I use a template matching the fly shape. I start with a vertical line of stitching, catching only the front and the facing. Then, along the curve, I stitch through all 3 layers, the front, the facing and the fly shield. Next, I fold the leg right sides together and stitch the inseams. I press the seams open, I pin the back crotch seam, stitch, finish the seam allowance together, and press the seam to one side up to the curve. Now I move on to the waistband. I join the front and back waistband pieces for both the outer waistband, which is interfaced, and the inner waistband. I stitch and press the seams open. I prepare the belt loops. I fold the long edges of the strip inward, then fold it in half, press, and stitch along the edges. I cut the strip into 4 pieces and pin them at the markings along the lower edge on the right side. I stitch the belt loop in place. I pin the waistband on the top edge of the pants, leaving the seam allowance extending past the ends. I match the side seams and the center back. I stitch and press the seam allowance toward the waistband. Next, I press the lower edge of the inner waistband to the inside. I pin both waistband layers together and stitch. I clip the corners and trim the seam allowances. Then I turn the waistband right side out and press. I fold the ends of the belt loops inward and stitch them in place. I hand stitch the inner waistband over the seam using invisible slip stitches. Then, still by hand, I sew the hooks and bars at the waistband opening, the eyes on the left and the hooks on the right. To finish, I work on the hems. I fold each ankle cuff band in half and stitch the short ends together. I press the seam open. I press one edge inward, then fold the band in half, lengthwise, wrong sides together, and press. I sew 2 rows of gathering stitches at the bottom of each leg. I gently pull the threads to gather the fabric and match it to the cuff. I pin the unfolded edge of the band to the bottom of the leg. I stitch, remove the visible gathering threads, and top stitch the band close to the seam. And your spring pants are finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. See you soon for a new project with Fabricville.